Have you ever looked at someone successful and thought, what are they doing differently that I'm not? You're not lazy, you're not stupid, you're not unlucky. But there's one silent force controlling everything in your life: your thoughts. Most people walk around thinking the same 60,000 thoughts every day. And here's the scary part: 95% of those thoughts are the same ones you had yesterday. If your mind is filled with doubt, fear, stress, or "I'm not good enough," what kind of future do you think that creates? This book is about breaking that cycle from the inside out. If you've ever felt stuck, lost motivation, doubted yourself, or wondered why success feels so far away, this book will feel like someone just turned the lights on in your head. Inside these pages, I'll show you how your thoughts quietly shape your identity, your habits, and your destiny, how to catch and destroy the hidden mental patterns that are holding you back, and how to retrain your mind to think, act, and succeed on purpose. This isn't another book full of cheesy quotes or motivation that fades in 10 minutes. It's a mental blueprint that you can use for the rest of your life. Because once you understand this truth, you become what you think. Everything starts to change. Want to get more powerful book suggestions that grow your mind and help you become 1% better every day? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Book Suggest. Chapter 1. Mind, Note, Magnet. What you think, you pull into your life. Let's start with a truth most people ignore. Your thoughts are not harmless. They are the blueprint of your life. Every success you dream of and every failure you fear begins inside your mind. But here's the twist. Most people spend more time designing their phone wallpaper than designing their thoughts. They wake up thinking, "I'm tired. Today's going to be tough. I never have enough money. Nothing ever works out for me." And guess what? Their life mirrors exactly what they think. Not because the universe is cruel, but because your mind is a magnet, pulling in the people, experiences, and opportunities that match your dominant thoughts. Your brain is always listening. You might think, "I just have random thoughts. It's not a big deal." But the truth is, your brain doesn't treat any thought as just random. It takes them seriously. It listens. It acts. Whatever you think repeatedly, your brain starts to believe. And whatever it believes, it tries to make real. This is where things get deep, but still simple. Your brain has a powerful filter system called the Reticular Activating System, RAS. Let's break it down. What is RAS and why it controls what you notice? Have you ever bought a new shirt or phone, and suddenly you start noticing the same shirt or phone everywhere? That's your RAS in action. The reticular activating system is like a gatekeeper in your brain. It decides what information comes in and what gets ignored. It lets in only what it thinks is important to you. But how does it decide what's important? By what you think about constantly. If you keep thinking, "There are no good people in my life. I'm unlucky. Money is hard to make," your RAS will go out and find proof of that. It will ignore opportunities, solutions, or people that could help you because they don't match your thoughts. That's how your thoughts become your lens. And once your lens is negative, you'll only see things that confirm it. But the reverse is also true. If you train your thoughts to focus on possibilities, gratitude, abundance, and growth, your RAS will filter in opportunities, good people, and signs of progress. This isn't magic. It's mental programming. How thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs become reality. Let's break it down in 3 steps. Thoughts repeated. Beliefs formed. Think something often enough, your brain wires it in. "I'm not good enough. I always mess things up. I'm not made for business. These thoughts become your beliefs. Even if they're not true, beliefs shape behavior. You act based on what you believe. If you believe you're bad at public speaking, you'll avoid it. If you believe you're bad with money, you'll never try to learn. Beliefs control what you try, what you risk, and what you expect. Behavior shapes your life. What you do, or don't do, creates your results. Your job, your income, your health, your happiness, all start from belief. So next time someone says, it's just a thought, you now know it's never just a thought. It's the starting point of your reality. Real life example, Oprah Winfrey. Let's take a real world example. Oprah Winfrey, born in poverty, abused as a child, told she'd never make it on TV, but she believed something different. She fed her mind with thoughts of strength, power, self-worth, and purpose. Even when reality was against her, her mind was programmed to look for possibility. Her inner belief system, not her circumstances, shaped her success. She once said, "You become what you believe. You are where you are today in your life based on everything you have believed." The difference between someone who rises and someone who stays stuck is not always education, money, or talent. Often it's just this. One believed they could, the other believed they couldn't. Another example, Jim Carrey's 10 million check comedian and actor Jim Carrey once wrote himself a fake 10 million check for acting services rendered. He dated it 5 years into the future and kept it in his wallet. Every day he looked at it, he visualized, he believed. 5 years later, he landed the movie Dumb and Dumber and got paid exactly $10 million. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe. His mind became a magnet. Tuned into belief, tuned into expectation, tuned into opportunity. How to use this in your own life? Let's get practical. How can you make your mind a magnet for success? 1. Audit your daily thoughts every morning or night. Ask yourself, what am I thinking about most often? Are those thoughts helping me grow or keeping me stuck? Be brutally honest. If 80% of your thoughts are negative, it's time to change the script. 2. Create power beliefs. Write down 3 thoughts you want to believe deeply. For example, I'm becoming more confident every day. I attract the right opportunities at the right time. I am worthy of success, and I'm working for it. Repeat them. Write them. Record them in your voice and listen while walking. Repetition wires the brain. 3. Train your RAS start. Asking your brain better questions. Instead of, why do bad things always happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? What's one thing I can do today to move forward? Your RAS will go search for answers. It works like Google, but for your brain. 4. Surround yourself with better input, your environment. Your mental diet. If you constantly listen to gossip, watch negative news, or hang out with pessimistic people, your thoughts will reflect that. Protect your mental space. Feed your mind with books, podcasts, videos, and people that lift you up. Your thoughts are a frequency think of your brain like a radio. You can't expect to tune in to 102.5 FM and hear what's playing on 97.7 FM. Likewise, you can't expect to live a peaceful, successful, abundant life if your thoughts are tuned into fear, worry, and self-doubt. You don't get what you want. You get what you're in tune with. So, start tuning your mind to the life you want, and your actions and results will follow. Final thought. It all starts in the mind. If your life is a garden, then your thoughts are the seeds. What you plant daily, with intention or by accident, will grow. The good news? You control what you plant. You control the frequency you tune into. You control the magnet. And it starts with one powerful shift: becoming aware of your thoughts and choosing better ones every single day. Chapter 2: Thought Loops. The thoughts that repeat control your life. Ever caught yourself thinking the same thought over and over again? I always mess things up. People don't like me. I'll never be successful. It plays in your head like a broken song, on repeat. The worst part, you start to believe it's the truth. But here's the raw truth. These aren't facts. They're thought loops, repetitive mental patterns your brain replays until they become your reality. This chapter will teach you why thought loops form, how they control your emotions and actions, how to identify the negative loops holding you back, and most importantly, how to break free from them. Let's dive in. What are thought loops? Imagine you're walking through a grassy field. The first time, the grass bends a little. The second time, it bends more. Walk that same path 100 times, and what happens? You've created a trail. Thought loops are the same. The more you think a thought, the deeper the trail in your brain. Your brain is designed to save energy, so it starts using the path you've walked the most, even if it's a path of self-doubt, fear, or negativity. In neuroscience, this is called neuroplasticity. Neurons that fire together, wire together. The more you think a thought, the easier it becomes to think it again and again until it becomes automatic. The 3 types of negative thought loops. Let's break down the 3 most dangerous loops people fall into. And maybe you'll recognize yourself in one of them. The victim loop. Why does this always happen to me? No one helps me. Life is unfair. This loop keeps you feeling powerless. You wait for others to fix things instead of taking control. Outcome: you give up responsibility and stay stuck. The fear loop. What if I fail? What will people say? I'm not ready yet. This loop paralyzes action. You overthink. You hesitate. You delay. Outcome: you miss opportunities because fear controls your decisions. The not good enough loop. I'm not smart enough. I don't look the part. I can't do what others do. This loop slowly kills your confidence. Even small wins don't feel real, because deep inside, you don't believe you're worthy. Outcome: you play small even when you're capable of more. Where thought loops come from, they usually form in 3 ways. Childhood conditioning. Maybe someone told you, you're lazy. You're not talented. You always mess things up. Even if they were joking or angry, your brain took notes, and those words became internal scripts. Past experiences. You failed once, and now your brain says, let's not do that again. You got rejected once, and now your brain says, stay quiet. Don't risk being embarrassed. One painful event can write an entire belief system, unless you rewrite it. Society and culture. You scroll social media and see everyone succeeding. Your brain whispers, you're behind. You're not good enough. You'll never catch up. Comparison fuels thought loops that tell you you're not worthy. How to identify your thought loops. Before you can break a loop, you have to see it clearly. Here are 3 signs you're stuck in a thought loop. You have the same emotional reaction in similar situations. Example: every time someone gives feedback, you feel attacked. That means you have a loop around criticism. Also danger. You replay the past again and again. You keep reliving a moment that made you feel shame, regret, or fear. That loop is keeping your nervous system trapped in that memory. Your inner dialogue never changes. You talk to yourself in the same voice every day. If it's full of doubt, blame, and negativity, that's a loop. How to break thought loops. Now, let's talk about freedom. Because the beautiful thing is, you're not your thoughts. You're the thinker of thoughts. And you can choose new ones. Here's how to break negative loops step by step. Step 1. Name. The loop, awareness, is the first weapon. Ask yourself, what thought keeps repeating when I feel low? Is this thought 100% true? Where did I first hear or experience this? Once you name the loop, it starts losing power. Step 2. Interrupt the pattern. Every time you notice the loop, break it. Say out loud, stop. Not this time. That's an old story. Even snapping a rubber band on your wrist can work as a physical interruption. Your brain needs to wake up from the autopilot pattern. Step 3. Replace it with a better thought. Nature hates a vacuum. If you remove a negative loop, but don't replace it, your brain will go back. So choose a thought that's realistic but powerful. Example: I don't always mess up. I'm learning. I've failed before, but I've also grown. Others' success doesn't mean I'm behind. Write down 3 replacement thoughts and keep them visible. Step 4. Repeat until it becomes the new loop. Consistency rewires the brain. The same way your negative loop formed from repetition, your positive loop will too. Don't expect magic in one day. Rewiring a loop takes weeks of repetition, but if you stay consistent, you'll start to think differently without trying. That's the goal. Automatic confidence, automatic belief, automatic growth. Bonus tool: loop journaling, 5 minutes a day. Here's a quick daily exercise to break loops. Loop journaling, template. What negative thought did I repeat today? Where do I think this comes from? Is it true? Or just a fear? What new thought can I believe instead? How did I act because of this thought today? How can I act differently tomorrow? Doing this for 30 days will change how your mind works. Real-life example: Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Imagine if he had a loop like, I always fail, I should give up. But his thought loop was different. He said, I haven't failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work. That loop, the growth loop, made him a world-changing inventor. You don't need perfect conditions to succeed. You need the right thought loops. Final message: you don't have to believe everything you think. Let that sink in. Just because a thought feels true doesn't mean it is true. Your mind is like a computer, and thought loops are like the code running behind the scenes. Most people run old, buggy code for decades. But you've just started to learn how to rewrite your mental code. And chapter by chapter, you'll install a more powerful, purposeful operating system for your mind. Chapter 3. Feed the mind. What you feed your brain is what it becomes. Protect your mental diet. What did you feed your mind today? Was it positive, uplifting content that inspired you to move toward your goals? Or was it negative, stress-inducing, media that drained your energy? You see, your mind is like a garden. And just like any garden, what you plant and water determines what grows. If you plant seeds of doubt, negativity, and stress, you'll end up with a garden full of weeds. But if you plant thoughts of empowerment, motivation, and calm, you'll see a flourishing garden of success. In this chapter, we're going to explore the most important concept in personal development. What you feed your mind matters more than you think. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand why your mental diet plays a crucial role in shaping your life, and you'll discover ways to protect your mind from toxicity. Ready? Let's dive in. The power of mental nutrition. Every day, your mind is exposed to information. You watch social media, you listen to podcasts, you scroll through the news, you interact with people around you. But here's the truth: everything, you consume mentally shapes your reality. Every piece of content you take in, every thought you entertain, and every interaction you engage in either feeds or starves your mind. If you constantly consume content filled with negativity, fear, and stress, your mind will reflect that. On the other hand, if you feed your mind with positivity, growth, and high-quality content, you'll start seeing changes in your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. So, let me ask you, what's your mental diet like? The impact of social media, news, people, and environments. Social media. The double-edged sword social media is both a gift and a curse. It connects you with the world and provides endless opportunities for learning. But here's the downside. Social media is often a source of comparison, negativity, and stimulation. You see the highlight reels of others' lives, and suddenly you're left feeling behind, inadequate, and unsuccessful. Here's the truth. Social media feeds your mind with snapshots of other people's reality, not the full picture. You only see their wins, not the struggles they went through to get there. If you're constantly comparing yourself to others on social media, you're feeding your mind negative thoughts and self-doubt. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-worth issues. The news. Information. Overload. Let's face it, the news is designed to grab your attention, but often it's filled with stories that evoke fear, anger, and stress. This constant bombardment of negativity can wreak havoc on your mental health. A few headlines you read daily: global recession on the horizon, crime rates rising, in your city, natural disasters hitting everywhere. This endless stream of bad news affects your brain. It heightens anxiety, increases stress, and fuels a sense of hopelessness. The truth is, most of the news is out of your control, but the way you react to it, that's within your power. The people you surround yourself with, you've heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And it's true. The people around you either lift you up or drag you down. If you hang around people who constantly complain, gossip, or focus on problems, guess what? You'll start thinking like them. You'll start complaining too. You'll start focusing on the negative. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with motivated, optimistic, and growth-oriented individuals, your mindset will naturally elevate. Energy is contagious. Choose to surround yourself with people who empower you, support your dreams, and challenge you to be better. The environment you place yourself in, your environment plays a huge role in shaping your mental state. Think about it. Is your workspace cluttered, disorganized, and chaotic? Do you live in an environment that supports your goals, or does it create distractions? Are you constantly surrounded by noise, interruptions, and stress? A cluttered environment leads to a cluttered mind. A peaceful, organized space fosters clarity, focus, and productivity. Thought hygiene habits. Cleaning your mental space. Now that we've established how external factors influence your mental state, let's talk about thought hygiene. Just like you clean your body and your surroundings, your mind needs regular detoxes and cleanses. Here are 5 powerful habits to keep your mind clean and clear. Limit negative input. Be mindful of what you consume daily. This means limiting toxic media. Avoid news and social media content that triggers fear, anger, or anxiety. Negative people. Stay away from individuals who are constantly negative or who drain your energy. Unnecessary stress. Don't dwell on problems that are out of your control. Instead, focus on consuming positive, uplifting, and educational content. Feed your mind with books, podcasts, and videos that inspire you, teach you new things, and fuel your growth. Daily mindfulness. Practice. Mindfulness is a powerful habit for clearing mental clutter. It helps you become aware of your thoughts and stop them from running on autopilot. Here's a simple mindfulness practice. Sit in a quiet space. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. Focus on your breath and notice when your mind wanders. Gently bring your focus back to your breath. Doing this for just 10 minutes a day can help clear your mind and reset your mental space. Gratitude. Practice. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to reset your mind. When you focus on what you're thankful for, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone. Each day, take a moment to write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be big or small. The goal is to shift your focus from lack to abundance. Mental fasting. Detox for the mind. Just like you take breaks from food to detox your body, you can take breaks from mental stimulation to detox your mind. Try digital fasting. Disconnect from social media, news, and even your phone for a few hours each day. Silence. Spend time in complete silence without any external distractions. Mindful walking. Take a walk outside, focusing on nature and the present moment. Mental fasting gives your brain the time it needs to rest and recover from the overload of daily information. Positive affirmations. You can't always control your circumstances, but you can control your internal dialogue. Affirmations are powerful tools to reprogram your mind. Each day, speak positive affirmations out loud. Examples: I am capable of achieving my goals. I am in control of my thoughts and actions. I attract success, abundance, and joy. Your mind listens to your words. Choose to speak positivity into your life. The mental diet. What are you feeding your brain? Imagine your mind is a garden. You have the power to choose what grows there. Will it be weeds, or will it be beautiful, blooming flowers? Here's the mental diet I recommend. Positive input. Read books, listen to podcasts, and watch videos that elevate your mindset and teach you new skills. Quality conversations. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you to grow. Healthy boundaries. Limit exposure to negativity, whether it's people, media, or environments. Regular detoxes. Take time each day to clear your mind of clutter and refocus on what matters. Chapter summary. Quick recap. What you feed your mind determines your reality. Social media, news, people, and environment are the main sources of mental nutrition. Protect your mind from toxic input by practicing thought hygiene habits like mindfulness and gratitude. Implement mental fasting to detox and reset your mind. The goal is to create a mental diet that supports your growth and keeps you mentally healthy. Chapter 4. Identity shift. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe you are. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly achieve their goals, while others struggle despite working hard? What if I told you the difference isn't in their actions, but in their identity? Who they believe themselves to be? In this chapter, we're going to dive deep into the concept of identity shift. You see, we all have a story about who we are, and that story shapes every action we take or don't take. But here's the exciting part. You can change your story. You can change the way you see yourself. And in doing so, you can change the entire trajectory of your life. By the end of this chapter, you'll learn why thinking like your future self can change your present reality. How to rewrite your inner story to match your goals and dreams. Simple, actionable exercises to upgrade your identity and accelerate your success. Ready for your transformation? Let's dive in. The power of your beliefs. Our beliefs are the lens through which we view the world, and ultimately the lens through which we see ourselves. These beliefs are formed over time, often without us even realizing it. And once we form beliefs, we act in ways that prove them to be true. This is known as the self-fulfilling prophecy. Take a moment and think about the beliefs you hold about yourself. Do you believe you're capable of achieving your goals? Do you think you're worthy of success, love, and happiness? Do you see yourself as someone who is disciplined and motivated, or as someone who always falls short? If your inner story is filled with limiting beliefs, like "I'm not good enough" or "I'll never make it," it's no surprise you feel stuck, because what you believe you are becomes your reality. And that's exactly why shifting your identity is so powerful. Thinking like your future self. Imagine for a moment that you've already achieved all your goals. You're living your dream life, the life you've always wanted. How do you think, feel, and act in this future version of yourself? What beliefs, values, and habits do you embody? Now, here's the secret. Start thinking like that future version of yourself today. Step into that identity now, and your present reality will start to shift. This is the essence of thinking like your future self. When you begin to see yourself as the person you want to become, rather than who you currently are, you begin to make decisions, take actions, and align yourself with the person you need to be in order to create your future. You're no longer constrained by your current circumstances or self-limiting beliefs. You're acting as if you've already achieved the life you want, and this simple shift in thinking causes the universe to match that energy. Let's say your future self is someone who is financially free and making smart investments, confident and assertive in social situations, fit, healthy, and energetic. How would that version of you make decisions today? Would they procrastinate on important tasks, or would they take immediate action? Would they allow self-doubt to stop them from pursuing their goals, or would they trust in their abilities? Would they allow fear of failure to hold them back, or would they embrace challenges as opportunities for growth? Your future self is already successful, confident, and empowered. By shifting into this mindset today, you align your actions with the success you're seeking, and you start building your future in the present. Rewrite your inner story. Now that you understand the importance of thinking like your future self, it's time to rewrite your inner story. Your inner story is the narrative you tell yourself about who you are, what you're capable of, and what you deserve. This story is deeply ingrained and often based on past experiences, beliefs, and societal conditioning. Here's the kicker. Your inner story isn't set in stone. You can change it at any time. The first step to rewriting your inner story is awareness. Take a moment to reflect on your current inner dialogue. How do you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? What do you say to yourself when you face challenges? How do you react when things don't go as planned? If your inner dialogue is filled with self-criticism, doubt, and defeat, it's time to shift gears. Instead of focusing on past failures, start focusing on your potential. Ask yourself, what if I succeeded? What if I had unlimited potential? What if I could achieve everything I set my mind to? By answering these questions and changing your internal narrative, you create a new identity, one that aligns with your desired future. Simple identity upgrade. Exercises. You now understand the power of your beliefs and how thinking like your future self can change your present reality. But how do you actually begin shifting your identity? Here are a few simple exercises to help you upgrade your identity and step into the person you want to become. Visualize your future. Self-take. 5 to 10 minutes each day to close your eyes and visualize your future self. What do they look like? How do they carry themselves? What is their mindset? How do they react to challenges? Immerse yourself in this vision and feel the emotions associated with it. The more vivid and real you make this experience, the more it will influence your current behavior. Remember, your future self isn't a distant dream. It's a version of you that's already within you. Create an identity statement. An identity statement is a powerful affirmation that describes the person you are becoming. For example, I am a confident, successful entrepreneur who always takes action. I am a disciplined individual who makes healthy choices every day. I am worthy of love, happiness, and success. Write your identity statement and read it aloud every morning. This simple exercise will reinforce your new identity and help you internalize it. Take inspired action. Identity is shaped by action. To step into your new identity, you need to take actions that reflect who you want to become. If you want to be a successful business owner, start acting like one. Begin networking with other entrepreneurs. Develop a product or service. Take small steps every day toward building your dream business. The key here is starting small. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you act as if you're already that future self, your reality will start aligning with that identity. Surround yourself with your future self. One of the easiest ways to shift your identity is by surrounding yourself with people who are already where you want to be. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, connect with other entrepreneurs. If you want to get fit, spend time with people who prioritize health and fitness. This doesn't just mean physical proximity. It also applies to your online environment. Follow people on social media who inspire you and align with your future self's values. Join communities that reflect the mindset and identity you wish to adopt. The power of consistency. Reinforcing your identity as you start practicing these identity upgrade exercises. Remember that consistency is key. You won't shift your identity overnight, but with consistent effort, your new identity will become more ingrained, and you'll start to see the changes in your life. The truth is, you don't change your life all at once. You change it little by little, one small action at a time. Chapter summary, quick recap. Your beliefs shape your reality. What you believe about yourself and your capabilities becomes true. Thinking like your future self is a powerful tool for transformation. Start acting as if you're already the person you want to become. Rewrite your inner story. Shift your internal narrative from limiting beliefs to empowering ones. Use simple identity upgrade exercises to shift your mindset and align your actions with the person you want to become. Chapter 5. Action Mirrors. Thought. What you think consistently becomes how you act. And how you act becomes who you are. Isn't it fascinating how the mind works? We think our thoughts are just fleeting, but in reality, they shape our actions, decisions, and ultimately, our lives. You are the sum of your consistent thoughts. And more importantly, your actions are a direct reflection of those thoughts. What you do each day, in every small way, reflects the thoughts you are constantly feeding your mind. This is where the magic lies, in the seemingly insignificant actions that form habits and, in turn, shape your identity and your future. In this chapter, we will explore how your thoughts dictate your actions and how your actions, in return, solidify the way you see yourself and the life you create. We'll discuss the thought, emotion, action, chain. How our thoughts trigger emotions, which then influence our actions. Micro-actions. How small, consistent actions can completely rewire the brain and build new habits. Thought-backed, goal-setting, and decision-making. How setting goals aligned with your thought patterns can accelerate your success. By the end of this chapter, you will understand how powerful your actions are as mirrors of your thoughts and how you can leverage that knowledge to create lasting change. The thought, emotion, action. chain. Every action you take, no matter how big or small, starts with a thought. The connection between thought and action is much deeper than most people realize. Your thoughts create your feelings, and those feelings are what drive you to act or not act. This is the thought, emotion, action chain. Let's break it down. Thoughts. The initial spark of any action is a thought. This could be a simple idea or a powerful belief. For example, you may think, I want to be successful, or I need to get fit. Emotions. Your thoughts trigger emotions. In this case, thinking about success or fitness might make you feel motivated, excited, or even anxious. Action. Emotions drive behavior. When you're excited or motivated, you're more likely to take action, whether that's researching ways to start a business or heading to the gym. Conversely, negative emotions like fear or doubt may prevent you from taking action. It's important to realize that negative thought patterns can lead to paralysis by analysis, while positive thought patterns fuel productive, forward-moving actions. Think about it. When you feel discouraged or unsure, you might procrastinate or avoid taking action. But when you feel confident, excited, or empowered by your thoughts, you're more likely to jump into action. Here's the catch. Your thoughts are within your control. That means you can choose to shape your thoughts in ways that evoke emotions that lead to productive action. The power of micro-actions. Now that we understand the thought, emotion, action chain, let's dive deeper into micro-actions. Micro-action is a small, often seemingly insignificant action that leads to larger, long-term results. Micro-actions are like the small droplets that make up an ocean. They compound over time to create massive results. Let's say you want to get fit. Instead of starting with a huge workout routine or setting a large goal like lose 20 pounds, focus on micro-actions like getting up 15 minutes earlier each day to stretch or walk, drinking 1 extra glass of water per day, doing a 5-minute workout at home before breakfast. These micro-actions don't seem like much, but over time, they reprogram your brain. Why? Because they start to align with your identity. Slowly but surely, you begin to see yourself as someone who is committed to fitness and healthy habits. As a result, these small actions become consistent, and your brain starts to rewire itself, creating new neural pathways that make it easier to continue these behaviors. The beauty of micro-actions is that they are doable. Unlike large, overwhelming goals, small actions are much easier to begin. The key is that they compound. Imagine consistently completing a small action for a month or a year. The cumulative impact is far greater than trying to do everything at once and burning out. How micro-actions rewire. Your brain is incredibly adaptable. It has something called neuroplasticity, which means it can rewire itself based on your repeated actions and experiences. When you engage in an action consistently, your brain starts to see that behavior as important, and it strengthens the neural pathways related to that action. Let's say you've decided to start reading 10 pages of a book every day. At first, it feels unnatural, and you may even forget to do it. But if you stick with it, your brain begins to associate reading with pleasure or growth, creating new connections that make the habit feel easier. The beauty of this is that neuroplasticity doesn't care what the action is. Whether you're choosing to read, work out, meditate, or even procrastinate, your brain will wire itself to perform that behavior more naturally the more you engage in it. How to harness micro-actions for success. Identify the behavior you want to build. What do you want to improve? Fitness, productivity, relationships, or learning? Choose one habit to focus on at a time. Start small. Break it down into tiny, achievable steps. If you want to write a book, don't start with write 10 pages. Start with write 100 words a day. Be consistent. Consistency is more important than intensity. Even if your micro actions are small, doing them every day will make a significant impact over time. Celebrate wins. Each time you complete your micro action, celebrate your progress. This reinforces the positive feedback loop and encourages your brain to keep engaging in that behavior. Thought-backed goal setting and decision-making goals are the compass that guide your actions. But to achieve those goals, you need to make decisions that align with the thoughts you have about yourself and your future. Let's dive deeper into thought-backed goal setting and decision-making. Thought-backed goals. Most goal-setting strategies focus on setting goals based on external results. I want to earn $100,000, or I want to lose 30 pounds. While these goals are important, they often fail to address the core thought patterns that need to change for these goals to be sustainable. Thought-backed goal setting focuses on aligning your thoughts and beliefs with the outcome you want. For example, instead of just setting a goal like, I want to earn $100,000, you'd ask yourself, what thoughts do I need to have to earn $100,000? What does someone who earns $100,000 think on a daily basis? What beliefs do I need to embody? As you ask yourself these questions, your goal setting will become rooted in your identity and mindset, rather than just an external target. When your goals align with your beliefs, you begin to make decisions and take actions that directly support them. Decision-making backed by thought. Every decision you make, whether big or small, is influenced by your thoughts. If your thoughts are rooted in scarcity or self-doubt, your decisions will reflect those beliefs. You might procrastinate, overanalyze, or take actions that undermine your success. On the other hand, if your thoughts are backed by confidence and a growth mindset, your decisions will propel you forward. To ensure your decisions align with your higher goals, ask yourself, does this decision reflect the person I am becoming? Does this decision move me closer to my future self? Is this decision based on abundance or scarcity? By consistently making decisions that align with your thoughts, you will create a powerful feedback loop that strengthens your beliefs and reinforces positive actions. Conclusion: action mirrors thought. Your thoughts are incredibly powerful. They create the foundation for your emotions, which ultimately lead to the actions you take. Whether it's through small micro-actions, thought-backed goals, or decision-making aligned with your desired identity, the key to success lies in consistently acting in alignment with your thoughts. Remember, your actions aren't random. They are a reflection of the thoughts you hold in your mind. So, if you want to change your actions, start by changing your thoughts. And when you change your thoughts, you'll inevitably change the way you act, and in turn, change your entire life. Chapter 6. Think on purpose. Master your thoughts or be mastered by them. Have you ever had those days when your mind seems like it's on autopilot? Where you go through the motions of life, but you're not really in control of the thoughts that keep popping up. Those moments when you're reacting to everything around you instead of acting with intention. It's easy to let our minds drift into these patterns, but if we want to become the person we truly desire to be, we must learn to think on purpose. This chapter is dedicated to showing you how to take control of your mind. When you consciously direct your thoughts, you open up the power to shape your reality. You no longer let random thoughts or distractions dominate your day. Instead, you become a master of your mind, shaping it to work for you rather than against you. We will explore conscious thinking versus autopilot, how to recognize when you're on autopilot and how to break free from it. Daily mental training. Mental gym. Why mental training is as important as physical exercise and how to build a mental workout routine. Visualization, affirmations, and journaling techniques. Simple yet powerful tools to reprogram your subconscious and harness the power of your thoughts. By the end of this chapter, you'll have the tools to actively control your thoughts, create a daily mental workout routine, and start using powerful techniques like visualization and affirmations to program your mind for success. Conscious thinking versus autopilot. Have you ever found yourself driving somewhere and not remembering the exact route you took? Or starting a task at work, only to look up and realize you've been working for hours but didn't really think about what you were doing? This is your mind on autopilot. When you're on autopilot, you're simply going through the motions without any real awareness of what's happening around you or within you. Your mind is on cruise control, reacting to circumstances without a clear purpose or direction. In this state, you are reactive rather than proactive. You let your thoughts take you wherever they want, whether that's down a path of anxiety, self-doubt, or procrastination. You're letting external circumstances and old patterns dictate your mindset and actions. But here's the good news. You can break free from autopilot. The first step is recognizing when you're on autopilot. Autopilot thinking often looks like negative self-talk. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, or this is too hard. Repetitive, unproductive patterns. Doing the same thing over and over, like procrastinating or overthinking. Mindless habits. You don't think about what you're doing, and your actions don't align with your goals or values. Recognizing autopilot thinking is essential because once you realize you're in this state, you can start to shift your thinking. The opposite of autopilot is conscious thinking. Conscious thinking means you are fully aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, and you direct them purposefully toward the life you want to create. How to break free from autopilot mindfulness. Start practicing mindfulness. This means bringing your attention to the present moment and being aware of your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Mindfulness meditation is a great way to practice this. Set intentions. Every day, set clear intentions for what you want to think, feel, and do. For example, you might tell yourself, today I will focus on staying calm and productive. This sets the tone for your day and keeps you grounded in conscious thinking. Question your thoughts. When negative or unproductive thoughts arise, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me achieve my goals? If not, choose to replace it with something more empowering. Daily mental training, mental gym. Just like you wouldn't expect to build a strong body without exercise, you can't expect to have a powerful mind without regular training. Mental training is about exercising your brain to think better, stay focused, and control your thoughts. Think of your mind as a muscle that needs daily workouts. When you train your mind consistently, you build mental strength, resilience, and clarity. Here's why daily mental training is so important. Improves focus. The more you practice mental training, the easier it becomes to stay focused on your goals and ignore distractions. Boosts emotional resilience. Mental exercises help you regulate your emotions, so you're less likely to react impulsively to stress or challenges. Strengthens positive thinking. Regular mental training rewires your brain to focus on solutions rather than problems, helping you stay positive even when things aren't going well. Mental gym exercises. Here are a few exercises you can start incorporating into your daily routine to build mental strength. The 5-minute focus drill set, a timer for 5 minutes, and focus on a single task. Whether it's reading, writing, or just concentrating on your breath, the goal is to practice staying focused without allowing your mind to wander. This exercise strengthens your ability to maintain attention on important tasks and trains you to avoid distractions. Mindful breathing. Take a few minutes each day to focus on your breath. Breathe in deeply for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. This practice helps calm the mind, reduces stress, and boosts mental clarity. Visualization. Visualization is a powerful tool for training your mind. Spend a few minutes each day vividly imagining yourself achieving your goals. See yourself successfully completing your tasks, feeling confident, and experiencing the joy of success. This exercise trains your mind to stay focused on positive outcomes. Positive affirmations. Write down a list of empowering affirmations. More on these in a moment, and repeat them each day. As you do, feel the emotions associated with these affirmations. Over time, this reinforces positive self-beliefs and strengthens your mental resolve. By practicing these exercises regularly, you'll notice your mind becoming stronger and more resilient. You'll have greater control over your thoughts and emotions, and you'll be able to stay focused on your goals even when life gets busy or challenging. Visualization, affirmations, and journaling techniques. Now let's explore some powerful tools you can use to program your mind for success. Visualization, affirmations, and journaling. These techniques are scientifically proven to reshape the way you think and can have a profound impact on your life. Visualization, creating your future. Visualization is the practice of creating a mental image of the future you desire. By vividly imagining your goals and the steps it will take to achieve them, you send a message to your subconscious that you are moving towards success. How to practice. Visualization. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and imagine yourself already living the life you desire. Picture the sights, sounds, and feelings associated with your success. For example, if your goal is to run a successful business, visualize yourself leading meetings, making deals, and enjoying the rewards of your hard work. Why it works. Your brain doesn't know the difference between an imagined experience and a real one. The more you visualize, the more it trains your brain to take the necessary actions to make that vision a reality. Affirmations, reprogramming. Your mind, affirmations are positive, present tense statements that help you reprogram your mind and replace negative thoughts with empowering ones. These statements are meant to be repeated consistently until they become your new belief system. How to practice. Affirmations. Write down a list of positive statements such as, I am confident, I am successful, or I am worthy of achieving my dreams. Repeat them daily, in the morning or before bed, and feel the emotions associated with these words. Why it works. Repetition is key to forming new neural pathways in the brain. The more you repeat an affirmation, the more it becomes ingrained in your subconscious, which leads to changes in your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Journaling, reflecting and refining your thoughts. Journaling is a great tool to help you organize your thoughts, process your emotions, and track your progress. Writing down your experiences helps you clarify your goals, work through challenges, and stay aligned with your vision. How to practice. Journaling. Start each day by writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. You can reflect on your goals, ask yourself questions, or write about challenges you're facing. Journaling helps you understand your mind better and recognize thought patterns that may be holding you back. Why it works. Journaling provides a mental release and helps you organize your thoughts. When you can see your thoughts on paper, you gain clarity and can identify areas of improvement. It also strengthens your ability to think critically and make conscious decisions. Conclusion. Mastering your mind. To think on purpose is to become the conscious creator of your thoughts and actions. By breaking free from autopilot thinking, practicing daily mental training, and using powerful tools like visualization, affirmations, and journaling, you can take full control of your mind and create the life you desire. Your thoughts are the foundation of your reality, and by deliberately shaping them, you shape your life. Remember, master your thoughts or be mastered by them. When you begin thinking on purpose, you unlock the power to change your future, one thought at a time.